Hello, my name is Charlene. This is a 40-minute yoga session focusing on Vinyasa Flow poses to strengthen and power up your core muscles. Due to the unexpected crisis in our society today, it has left us with uncertainty, with difficulty and stress by putting our lives on pause. By practicing yoga, it helps to eliminate the anxiety to keep you energized and stay positive. So before we begin the program, please consult with your physician. Props such as blocks and straps will not be used during this practice, but can be used for your support. So keep in mind, yoga is not about touching your toes. It's all about what you learn on your way down. So let's get started. We'll begin with a warm-up. Let's all sit on our mats and go into an easy pose, Sukhasana. Sit with your hips and sit bones rooted to the ground. Relax the shoulders, lengthen through the spine. Cross your legs and place your hands on your knees. Begin with breathing exercises. Close your eyes. Breathing is important throughout the practice to supply oxygen to hardworking muscles. Clear your minds. Let go of all distractions surrounding you. Let go of judgments of yourself and of others. There are 3 parts of pranayama breathing techniques, all associated with the abdomen, diaphragm, and the chest. So take a deep breath. Inhale, filling your lungs. Flow the inhale through your rib cage, upper abdomen, diaphragm, and chest. Exhale, reversing the flow in coordination of several muscle groups, which brings greater concentration to all parts of the body. Deep breaths several times. As you breathe, feel the sit bones rooted to the earth as gravity pulls you to the ground. In your seated pose, shoulders are rolled back, spine is straight and lengthened. As you exhale, sweep your hands up to the sky, then exhale into a forward fold. Raise your arms and lift hands to the center upwards towards the sky. Now bend to the right side. Open and feel the left side of the ribs as you stretch. Move arms to the center by reaching upward. Now let's bend to the left side and feel the right side of your ribs elongated as you deepen the stretch. Now let's flow into arm twists. Bring your hands back to rest on the knees in a seated pose. Swing the right hand behind and place it on the mat. Left hand place on the opposite knee and twist. Exhale to the other side, left hand to the back, place onto the mat, right hand on the opposite knee and twist. So what we're doing here is swinging left to right. Feel the stretch of the ribs each time you twist. Let's do this 5 times at your own pace. Okay, let's sit upright to a tabletop position, going into a cat pose. Align the ankles directly under the knees and bring your wrists directly under the shoulders. Legs hip distance apart. Tailbone tucks down towards the mat. Engage the core by pulling the belly into the spine. Round your back up and bring your head towards the mat. Exhale as you come into a cow pose. Lift the head and gaze up, roll the shoulders down and back and keep the chest open. The belly drops towards the mat. Exhale. Inhale and exhale and come into a cat pose. So you'll do 3 times from a cat pose to a cow pose, back to a cat pose. Now let's come to a neutral tabletop position and take our Vinyasa Flow, go to a plank position, and let's do 2 push-ups. Slowly lower down, Chaturanga. Power up your arms, upward facing dog or cobra, Bhujangasana. Inhale, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips upwards to the sky, and allow the biceps to frame the ears. Stay here. Exhale, relax your head and neck. You could start to pedal your feet back and forth by bending your knees and stretch out your knees, feet, ankles, and toes. Okay, go into a 3-legged dog on the right side. So from a downward facing dog position, lift the right foot up behind you and bend the knee. Open the hip and hold. Strengthen the leg. Now bring the right foot forward to the chest without touching the mat. And in a circular motion, lengthen the right foot back and lift up to a 3-legged dog. Circle the right leg forward to the chest. Let's do this 3 times. Place the leg down. Stay here. Now we're moving to a dolphin pose by lowering your forearms to the mat so that the arms are parallel to each other. You can clasp the hands together or leave the palms face down and press into the mat. Engage and activate the core muscles and quads. Pull the belly into the spine. Tailbone lifts. Sink your heels towards the ground and pull your hips upwards to the sky. Take a deep breath and stay here if this feels good, or adjust the movement that feels more comfortable to you. You can also bend your knees to lessen the tension. Hold and breathe. Stay here. The benefits of this pose: it stretches the shoulders, calves, and hamstrings. It also strengthens the shoulders, upper back, arms, core muscles, and legs. Okay, let's place the hands on the mat and strengthen your arms 90 degrees and take your Vinyasa Flow. Go to a plank position. Slowly lower down, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra, Bhujangasana. Downward facing dog. Stay here. Deep inhale and exhale. Maybe pedal your feet back and forth. Okay, let's work the other side. 3-legged dog on the left side. Engage the core as you lift the left foot behind you and back up towards the sky. Bend the knee and open the hip. Now straighten the back leg and keep it lengthened. Hips squared forward towards the mat. Engage your shoulder muscles. Bring the left foot forward to the chest. Lengthen the back and slowly forward, slowly and back. 3 times. Now place the left foot down as we come to a dolphin pose. Lower your forearms to the mat so that the arms are parallel to each other. Palms face down on the mat or clasp the hands. Engage and activate the core muscles and quads. Pull the belly into the spine. Tailbone lifts. Sink the heels towards the ground and pull your hips upwards. Take a deep breath and stay here for a moment as we power up the core. Once again, to bend your knees, you can lessen the tension. Feel the muscles stretch along the shoulders, calves, hamstrings as you strengthen the upper back, arms, and legs. Okay, let's place the hands on the mat and strengthen your arms 90 degrees. Take a Vinyasa Flow. Go to your plank position. Slowly lower down, Chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, Bhujangasana, downward facing dog. Stay here. Inhale and exhale. Pedal your feet and rest. So let's move into a camel pose by lifting your body upright and begin in a kneeling position with your knees relatively hip distance apart. Softly press the tops of your feet into the mat. Make a fist with your hands and bring them towards the lower back tailbone and rest it against your back. Slowly begin to tilt the chest back gently. Keep the chest broad and open. Soften the neck and slightly tilt the head by looking up to the sky. You can further advance the pose by reaching your hands back to grab onto each heel. Do this with caution. Draw the shoulder blades together and steady and hold. To slowly come out of the pose, gently lengthen the spine in an upright position. Let's take our Vinyasa Flow. Go to a plank position. Slowly lower down, Chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, Bhujangasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Let your neck and head hang downward as you lessen the tension. Breathe and rest. Or you can pedal your feet, loosen the muscles. Now we'll move to a mountain pose. Walk your feet or jump towards your hands. Bend your knees and sweep your arms up towards the sky. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Open your chest. Spiral your arms down by your side. Take a breath and stand tall as you lengthen your spine. We'll move into a chair pose. Bring your feet and thighs together a few inches apart. Bend the knees, sit back on the hips. Try to bring the thighs parallel to the mat. Knees may be slightly over the ankles, but should not go over the toes to protect from knee injury. Lift your arms to the sky and bring palms to touch overhead or keep your hands in a prayer at heart center. Notice that most of your body weight is on your heels, so you can comfortably lift your toes off the mat. Hold for several breaths. This pose strengthens the quads, glutes, abs, and ankles while stretching the ankles and shoulders. It can also increase the heart rate and helps to build the body heat. Release the hands. In a standing forward fold, engage the core muscles, hinge forward and fold down. Lengthen the upper back, allowing the crown of the head to reach towards the mat. Keep a slight micro bend in the knees that's comfortable for your body. Allow your palms to release towards the mat. Lift up in a standing pose. For ease, maybe bend your knees as you come up. Okay, you should be warmed up now. We'll go into the peak poses. We will move into variations of 3 warrior sequence poses to work every muscle by promoting full body strengthening. We'll begin with Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana. Virabhadrasana is known as a great mythical warrior. Warrior 1 is great for opening the heart and developing courage. So we'll start with our left side. Step right foot back 3 to 5 feet, depending on your flexibility, in a 45-degree angle. Turn the left front toe 90 degrees toward the front, a few inches to the left edge of the mat. Bend your left knee, front heel aligned with the arch of the back foot. Draw the belly into the spine and point the tailbone down while also lifting the ribs upward. Keep the hips squared to the front of the mat. Bring your hands to the sky with palms facing each other. Lengthen through the crown of the head and draw the shoulders down away from the ears. If it's too strenuous, bring your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Remember to be respectful of your muscles and joints. You don't want to cause any pinching or tension to the lower back. Gaze up towards the hands, keeping the neck and head upward or by a soft gaze ahead. Hold for several breaths. Okay, we're flowing into a back bend. Bring both hands around to the back and interlace your fingers. Find your back bend. Look up by softening the neck and find your edge. Focus on your upper back. You should not feel any strain or compression on your lower back. Lift the chest and now dive head forward towards the ground. Continue to interlace your fingers and lift the arms up to the sky. Steady and hold. Now let's come to an extended side angle. Release and place your right hand to the mat next to the left side of the foot. Place the left hand on the hip and then raise and extend the arm upwards. Allow the bicep of the top arm to frame the ear. Chest is rotated upward and the back foot is rooted to the ground. Head is lifted towards the top of the arm or gaze towards the ground. No strain to the neck. Stay here. Okay, we're going to do a quad stretch. Place both hands on the mat. Lower and place the right knee on the mat, toes curled under. Lift the right heel with your left hand. Reach back to catch your right foot and pull the right heel into the glutes. Engage your belly and pull into the spine. Open the chest and press the hips forward, shoulders back. Release and take your Vinyasa Flow, or you can go into a child's pose. Go to a plank position, slowly lower down Chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, Bhujangasana, downward facing dog. Stay here, inhale and exhale. You can pedal your feet back and forth. Okay, let's walk or jump feet forward towards your hands. Bend the knees and slowly lift one vertebrae at a time to come to a standing pose. Now we're going to switch sides to Warrior One on the right side. Begin by stepping your left foot back 3 to 5 feet, depending on your flexibility in a 45-degree angle. Turn the right front toe 90 degrees toward the front, a few inches to the right edge of the mat. Keep your front heel aligned with the arch of the back foot. Draw the belly into the spine and point the tailbone down while also lifting the rib upward. Keep the hips squared to the front of the mat. Bring your hands to the sky with palms facing each other. Lengthen through the crown of the head and draw the shoulders down away from the ears and look up. Let's move to a back bend. Bring your hands around to the back and interlace your fingers. Find your back bend. Look upward by softening the neck. Focus on your upper back. Once again, you should not feel any strain or compression to the lower back. Chest is lifted. Now slowly dive forward, down towards the ground. Continue to interlace your fingers and lift the arms up to the sky, steady and hold. Move into an extended side angle. Release your hands. Place the left hand to the mat next to the right side of the foot. Place the right hand on the hip and then raise and extend the arm and fingers upwards. Allow the biceps of the top arm to frame the ear. Chest is rotated upward and the back foot is rooted to the ground. Head is lifted towards the top of the arm or gaze towards the ground. Moving to a quad stretch, place both hands on the mat, lower and place the left knee on the mat, toes curled under, lift the left heel with your right hand, reach back to catch your left foot and pull the left heel into the glutes. Engage your belly and pull into the spine, open the chest and press the hips forward, shoulders back. Okay, release and take your Vinyasa Flow or a child's pose. Go to a plank pose, slowly lower down to Chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, Bhujangasana, downward facing dog, inhale and exhale and rest. Okay, we're going into Warrior 2. Warrior 2 is awesome for teaching your body awareness and to dissolve excess tension across your neck and shoulders. So from a downward facing dog, step the left foot forward between your hands, bend the knee and align the front knee stacked over the front ankle at 90 degrees. Keep the right foot back, turning at a 45-degree angle, lengthened. Front left thigh works to become parallel to the mat. Lift and spiral both arms parallel to the mat. Soften shoulders away from the ears. Engage core muscles. Keep the chest open and lengthen the rib cage. Point and tuck the tailbone down slightly. Hips are even and open both sides. Keep it steady and breathe. Now let's take a bind. Bend your left knee forward. Bring your right hand back under your leg. Left hand under the right leg. Reach to join hands at the fingertips. Hold the position. Shoulders are pulled back. Maybe you can tilt your head and neck forward. Breathe. Release your hands and power up the legs. Engage the core, spiral arms up and parallel to the mat. Lift back up to a Warrior 2. We'll do a triangle pose. Straighten your front leg, left leg, and begin to reach hands forward towards the front edge of your mat. Keep the length in the spine. Begin to bring the upper body down and allow the front hand on your thigh, shin, ankle, or toes, depending on flexibility. Lift the back right arm up towards the sky, stacking the shoulders. Extend through your ribs and activate your core to avoid collapsing of the chest. Hold for several breaths. Release and gently lift the torso up and come back into a Warrior 2. We're going to do a counter pose, reverse warrior. Bend the left knee forward. Bring your right hand back down your back leg. Raise your left front hand up towards the sky, allowing your bicep to frame your left ear. Bring your head slightly up towards your top of your fingers. Tilt back slightly, coming into a soft back bend. Lower your back. It should have a slight natural curve. Open your chest and lift, lengthening through your rib cage. Keep your chest open and lift towards the sky. Stay here for several breaths before releasing back to Warrior 2. The benefits of this pose: strengthens the shoulders, quads, and hamstrings. It also stretches the hips, calves, and lower back. Okay, we're going to repeat Warrior 2 by switching to the left side. Come back up to a standing pose. Step the left foot back, turning at a 45-degree angle. Keep it lengthened. Bend the right knee, stacking over the right ankle. Foot facing forward at 90 degrees. Lift and spiral both arms parallel to the mat. Soften shoulders away from the ears. Engage core muscles. Keep the chest open and lengthen the rib cage. Point and tuck the tailbone down slightly. Hips are even and open on both sides. Keep it steady and breathe. Okay, let's take a bind. Bend the right knee forward. Bring your left hand back under your leg. Right hand under the left leg. Reach to join hands at the fingertips. Maybe you can tilt your head and neck forward if it's comfortable. Shoulders back. Stay here and hold. Take a deep breath. Now let's power up the legs, engage cores, and lift back up to Warrior Two. Transition into a triangle pose by straightening your front right leg and begin to reach hands forward towards the front edge of your mat. Keep the length in the spine. Begin to bring the upper body down and allow the front right hand to rest on your thigh, shin, ankle, or toes to your preference. Lift the back left arm upwards towards the sky, stacking the shoulders. Extend through your ribs and activate your core to avoid collapsing of the chest. Hold for several breaths. Release gently. Lift the torso up and back into a Warrior Two. Now we'll do a counter pose to reverse warrior. Bend the right knee forward. Bring your left hand back, your back leg. Raise your right front hand up towards the sky, allowing your biceps to frame your left ear. Bring your head slightly up towards your top fingers. Tilt back slightly, coming into a soft back bend at the lower back. Open your chest and lift, lengthening through your rib cage. Keep your chest open and lifted towards the sky. Stay here for several breaths. Now release and take your Vinyasa Flow. Go to a plank position, down Chaturanga, up Cobra, Bhujangasana, and downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands to a mountain pose by bending your knees and sweep your arms up towards the sky. Circle arms back down to the side. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears in a standing mountain pose. Now we'll move into Warrior Three on the right side. Warrior Three pose trains the mind to stay present and focused during difficult situations. It increases balance and stability. So in a standing pose with your feet hip distance apart, engage your core muscles and begin to shift your weight on the right leg. Lift the opposite leg up and back, working to get it parallel to the mat. Flex the back foot towards the mat. Begin to tilt the torso forward so that the arms, head, torso, and leg become parallel to the mat. Reach your arms in front of you. Neck softens, head lifted, and gaze slightly straight ahead or face down. Root down in a standing leg, activating your quad muscles. Release and place the leg down. Let's switch sides to Warrior Three to the left side. Shift your weight in the left leg. Lift the opposite right leg up and back, working to get it parallel to the mat. Flex the back foot towards the mat. Tilt the torso forward. Arms, head, torso, and leg becomes parallel to the mat. Reach your arms out to the side like an airplane or straight forward in front of you. Soften the neck and gaze forward. Activate your quad muscles. Release and place the leg down and back to a standing pose. Now we'll start to wind down and move to a tree pose on the right side. Ground down through all four corners of your feet and engage the leg muscles. Find a point of focus to help you stay balanced in front of you on the floor or wall. Engage the abs and begin as you lift one foot off the ground. Bring the left sole of the foot on the right ankle, shin, or upper thigh. Bring hands together in a prayer position at the chest or raise them up overhead with palms facing each other. Now grow the branches of your tree. Hold for several breaths before releasing. Okay, we'll switch sides of the tree pose to the left side. Ground down through all four corners of your feet and engage the leg muscles. Find a point of focus to help you stay balanced in front of you on the floor or wall. Engage the abs and begin to lift one foot off the ground. Bring the right sole of the foot on the left ankle, shin, or upper thigh. Raise hands above overhead or together in a prayer position at the chest. Remember, one side may not work the same as the other side. Repetition increases strength and flexibility, so be patient and mindful of your limitations with certain poses to avoid injuries. Hold for several breaths. And when you're ready, release to Vinyasa Flow. Go to a plank position. You can also do a push-up or go to a child's pose, down Chaturanga, up Cobra, Bhujangasana, and back to a downward facing dog. Moving on to a pigeon pose on the right side. Bring the right foot in and place it down on the mat behind the left wrist. You can adjust your shin so that it's comfortable for you. The more parallel your shin is to the front edge of the mat, the deeper the stretch will be. You can gently adjust your shin with your hands to make it more comfortable. Extend the left leg back on the mat with the top of the right foot resting on the mat. Come up onto your fingertips and walk the torso slightly up with the chest lifting up and broadening. Be respectful of your muscles and joints. Lengthen up through the crown of the head and spine. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Square the hips to the front of the mat. Point the tailbone down towards the ground. Internally rotate the back leg in. Press gently into the top of the back foot. As you inhale, focus on lengthening. As you exhale, focus on gently deepening more into the stretch. Lift and stay still. So chest can come forward onto the mat and fold your arms. Stay here and rest your head over your arms for a few seconds. Now for beginners, this might be a little bit difficult the first time, so you can do a modified pose called a half pigeon on your back. So allow me to demonstrate as you watch. Lie on the back and bring the left ankle on the top of the right thigh. Grab onto the back of the right thigh and gently pull the leg in closer towards the torso. Hold and breathe. Okay, let's all come up and switch sides. Pigeon pose to the left side. Bring the left foot in and parallel and place it down on the mat behind the right wrist. Adjust your shin so that it's comfortable for you. Parallel your shin to the front edge of the mat for a deeper stretch. Extend the right leg back on the mat with the top of the left foot resting on the mat. Come up onto your fingertips and walk the torso slightly. Open the chest and lift. Lengthen up through the crown of the head and spine. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Square the hips to the front of the mat. Point the tailbone down towards the ground and internally rotate the back leg in. Press gently into the top of the back foot. Inhale, focus on lengthening. Exhale, focus on gently deepening the stretch. Okay, arms forward and rest onto the mat for a moment and rest your head on your arms. Once again, I'll demonstrate for those of you who prefer a modified half pigeon pose, a little bit easier. Let's do the left side. Lie on the back and bring the right ankle on the top of the left thigh. Grab onto the back of the left thigh and gently pull the leg in closer towards the torso. Stretch and hold. Okay, let's all release as we find your Savasana as we close our practice. Let's lay down on your mat to a comfortable position. Bring the arms by your sides and the palms facing up towards the sky. Let the feet fall open to the sides as gravity pulls you to the earth. Allow the shoulders to relax down to the mat and soften the muscles in your face, arms, legs, and feet rested to the ground. Close your eyes. Allow your breath to soften naturally. Focus on releasing tension and surrendering with every exhale. As we take several minutes of silence, wind down as you find peace in your mind, body, and soul. Start to slowly move your fingers and toes. Turn to your side and slowly make your way up to an easy pose with your eyes closed. Bring your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Take a moment to reflect on all your accomplishments during your practice. Thank you for coming to class and taking this journey to ultimately finding the beauty within yourself. Let the beauty of what you love be what you do. Namaste.